Hi, Aries, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your June 14th, 2022 full moon reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever that feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. So let's see the energy we are to be mindful of during this time. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Here we have the Lord, Aries. That represents us. We're represented by the Emperor, by the Lord in this deck, in the major arcana, and that's coming forward here. So our energy to be mindful of is ourselves. It's saying don't get in your own way, don't clip your own wings. Be very mindful of this time, because this is a time, the full moon is in Sagittarius, the sun is in Gemini, and we have this powerful alignment of two sister signs that come into play that can either be our greatest ally or our worst enemy, right? As sisters can be. And so here during this time, we have this intensity of questioning. We have this intensity of like diving deeper into things, a philosophical side, which is what Sagittarius brings. And we can have our dreams come forward. And then we can either go after our dreams or have our dreams almost sabotage ourselves. So just be really mindful of this during this time here, Aries, because I do feel like what we are dreaming of accomplishing and what we are able to accomplish in our waking world are going to be at odds with themselves at times. And so we can make our dreams, we can try and fit our dreams into our reality right now, like force things forward, or we can only see what we want to see so that our reality can better fit our dreams. And both of those are going to be us forcing something. It's like trying to fit on a shoe that's way too small, like Cinderella's stepsisters, right? And it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. And what I'm seeing is the old story of Cinderella, where either they cut off the front of the foot or the back of the foot, but either way, they've just maimed themselves. So here, it's like, and that's not to say that we're going to maim ourselves at all. The example is that either way, if we try to force it, we're going to wind up having a scar from trying to force things, from trying to make things move in a direction that they're just not ready to move at. So kind of stepping back and saying, okay, what do I really want? And questioning it deeper and being more philosophical with ourselves, going deeper into the questions that we're asking and why we're seeking those answers is going to be so important. It moves us to our chakra energy. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Ooh, okay, right here we have the I Am Presence, which is one of my absolute favorite chakra cards. And this is the crown chakra. And so the I Am Presence comes forward and it's asking us, who am I? I am power. I am enough. I am purpose. I am intention. I am determined. I am focused. Or I am not enough. I am sad and I'm overwhelmed and I'm stressed out and I'm, not the person that I want to be. And, I know they say don't say the negative, right? And we read this in books and hear this all the time. But I think it's important when we're questioning ourselves to say the negative and to see how deeply that resonates with us and why does it, and kind of chase that down. So here with the I am, when we say I am enough and we say Aries, I am enough, but replace Aries, of course, with your given name and say, I am enough. I am here for a reason. I am powerful. I am beautiful. Look at yourself in the mirror as you do so, because there's a real sense with what is the crown that you're putting on. There's a real sense of I'm armoring myself for every single day. And am I tired? Am I battered? Am I bruised? Am I overwhelmed? Or am I in the place that I need to be for me. It moves us to our moon message. So let's see what the moon has to say. Angels and spirit guides. Ooh. Show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Okay. So let's turn everything over at once. Okay. So we're starting at where we are right now. And this is the new moon in Sagittarius, which says luck is on your side. And we're at the full moon in Sagittarius. So Sagittarius energy is coming through very, very strongly here. What are we taking aim at? What do we want? This one says luck is on your side. The other one, I believe, says look at the bigger picture. So luck is on our side as we're looking at the bigger picture, as we're seeing where it is that we need to be. And it brings us to this challenge of growth. Now, it's interesting because Mercury enters into Gemini at about the time of this full moon. It's, if not on the day of the full moon, just around that day. And so communication and travel and growth of our individual experiences become very important. And yet we could feel like I'm stuck where I am. You know, I have work to do. I have kids to feed. I have, responsibilities. I have all this list of things that takes away my time. And we don't feel like we're growing, but we are. We are. There's a sense of feeling stuck and feeling stagnant. But we have to start looking at growth in a different way, kind of opening up our minds to what's bringing us forward, what we need, what we want, and what we're desiring, because we are still growing. And yet the challenge is not the growth in and of itself, but the seeing the growth, the believing the growth, the feeling of the growth. And it brings us to what we're focusing on. And this is that your dreams need a practical plan. And that's what this time is all about. Bringing our dreams and our hopes and our desires into the practical, into reality. And so as we're looking at where we want to be and what we are discovering about ourselves, we're looking at what we deeply want, what our soul is urging us towards. And we're saying, okay, I need a practical plan for this. I need a way to sit there and say, okay, I need to be smart. I need to see it. I need to understand it. And it brings us then to our past, which is pleasure reversed. So our past wasn't very pleasurable. There was a real sense of being held back, being denied, thinking that we can't have the joy, have the light, have the beauty that we want within our lives. And so with the pleasure reverse, it's like, how do I move forward? How do I get to be where I want to be? How do I embrace what I desire for my life and myself? And it brings us then to our strength, which comes from this moon, which is adjustments are required. This moon isn't about stagnation, which is completely awesome for us, because Aries, we like a challenge. We like to move forward. The supermoon is amplifying everything. It's bringing us power and intensity and greater understanding. And here, adjustments are required, and our power, our strength is that we can make those adjustments. We can look at the situation and recalibrate to what we want and what we need and where we're going and who we are. And as we do so, we're looking at our near future, which is the unexpected, which is because we can think on our toes, because we are, gifted and insightful. The unexpected starts to come forward, and it's like, it's unexpected. It's like, I didn't see that coming. But we have to be ready for what we couldn't plan for, what we just didn't think of planning for. And it moves us to our suggested approach, which it's a time to give rather than take. It's a time to give of our energy. We're going to kind of want to take everything in and kind of hoard it away within ourselves. And I just see a very quick movement. It's like Spirit is saying, move forward, move forward, move forward. That's going to be really important for us. What we need to know is that we need balance during this time of the questions and the answers that we're receiving, of the deeper understanding of how we want to move forward. But we need that balance. And balance is going to be something just like growth. We're going to think, I don't have it. Like, things aren't balanced, or I don't feel in harmony with myself. And I feel so overwhelmed, and I'm just hearing outdated. It's like tired or washed up, or like it's just not going to be enough. But as we come into balance with us, it's like, okay, there's duality here. Okay, there's intensity and complexity here. And it brings us to our hopes and our fears, which is work through your fears. Our hope is that we can work through our fears. Our fear is that we can't, and that we're constantly stuck in the one place that we never want to be again. And so it brings us then to our potential future, which is boundaries, which is having really clear boundaries with those around us, with ourselves, with where we're headed, with what we're looking for. And those boundaries become really quite important to us. This real sense of, yeah, this is what I'm cool with, but this is also what I'm not cool with and I won't be doing. So that's going to be a really important lesson for us to learn during this time. A time of boundaries, a time of growth, a time of looking at things in a bigger, more powerful way. Now, let's see what the tarot has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Okay. So to bring us more clarity as to what the moon is saying, we have where we are now, and this is the moon. So we're at the power of the moon, which is saying luck is on your side. But this power comes forward very intensely, and we can really feel the moon during this time. We're much more moon sensitive, and that can be something that's very new for us. We might think, oh, that's ridiculous. It's like, no, it's not. During this time, this moon has a tremendous impact on us. And we're going to be looking at our fears, but it's also going to be changing a lot about us. And it moves us then to our challenge, which is growth, but we have the Three of Swords. So it's the growth after pain, after hurt, after disappointment, after anger, after upset, after the wounds that run so very deep. And it's like, I'm growing within me. I'm seeing me. And the thing is that we have to look at those wounds and grow from them. And that's going to be something that's very hard to do, because we're going to sit there and say it's unjust, it's unfair. And it's done. So, I mean, I know that sounds harsh to say, but spirit is like, either you can stay in that pain and you can be wrapped in that pain forever, that heartbreak, that disappointment, or you can, it's like you can spin it. You can take that and make it into a strength. It's kind of like you can be this person who is so incredibly strong that it's astounding, that people look at you and think, oh my gosh, you know. And not in a nasty way, not in a way that even has to be remotely cruel at all, but it's like there is such tremendous, powerful strength to you that it's inspiring. When we have that type of strength, we don't usually see it, but know that it's there, Aries. It brings us to what we're focusing on. And we're focusing on, you know, all the chaos that has been in our life, all the, you know, having been pulled this way, having been pulled this way, you know, having to do this for this person, having to do that for that person, and fighting for the sake of fighting. And Spirit is saying here, your dreams need a practical plan. Right now, you're chaotic. That's why the dreams aren't coming forward, because even if we are focusing on it, we can be focusing on 18 million different things at the same exact time. So we're pulled in so many different directions. It leads us to our past. And our past is the Queen of Wands. And it's so interesting. And the Queen of Wands comes with pleasure reversed, because it's like we hadn't let ourselves shine. The Queen of Wands is wanting to celebrate, wanting to shine. And we're, of course, represented by the wands in the minor arcana, the past, being able to step into pleasure. It could be able to step into feminine pleasure. All right, experience it, you know, give it, feel it, whatever it is. You know, it could be taking sexually or personally. But there is also the sense of just being able to have pleasure within our lives, just being able to express ourselves and say what we want to say and let ourselves shine. There has been this sense of, no, I have to, you know, curtail myself to fit in, to fit this mold, to fit that mold. And Spirit's like, why? Why are you holding yourself back? The moon is saying to us, you know, we've held ourselves back long enough. And it brings us to our strength. And this is the Ten of Swords. Now, it comes here where adjustments are required. And the Ten of Swords is heartbreaks and pains and disappointments, and 10 swords in the back, and the person laying prostrate on the ground with 10 swords in them. It's like, I'm done. You know, I'm done. I've learned. This is the darkness before the dawn. And our strength is that we see the darkness, that we understand it, but that we also embrace and are empowered by the dawn, by the realization of ourselves, by the understanding of what we want and who we are and where we're headed. And all of a sudden, what people have tried to break us with, what people have thrown at us as hurtful words and hurtful intentions and anger and deceit and lies, we rise out of that like the phoenix from the ashes. And we rise into our strength and our power and our insight. And we're stronger because of it. But also, nobody expected the resurrection. Nobody expected us to be able to have this strength that we have. It moves us to our near future, and it's the Four of Cups. It's God, Source, Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, handing us a gift that's completely unexpected. That's why the unexpected comes through so powerfully. It's completely unexpected. And we're like, oh, can I do this? Like, can I move forward this way? And it can very well feel like a burden, like, oh my gosh, this is the thing I have to do. Like, this is the time I have to give to it. But no, it's changing our direction for a reason. It's changing our insight for a reason. And it brings us to our suggested approach, which is the Ace of Pentacles. It's time to give rather than receive. It's time to plant those seeds. It's time to give to what we desire into the earth and to our tenacity and potential, than to receive what we think those rewards should be. Now it is a time for planting them, for seeing ourselves. And it brings us then to what we need to know. And that's the Empress. With balance. And that just plays so beautifully together because, again, we're represented by the Emperor in the major arcana. Here the Empress is coming in with balance. We need to balance the sacred feminine and the sacred masculine. We're going to have a bit of trouble right now balancing that sacred masculine, that sacred feminine energy. So when you do a meditation, right? Or when you look into yourself, what energy, when you pull forward, just even say like the mother or the father, right? Or the sacred masculine, the sacred feminine. But if we can pull forward images of our mother or our father, and we can feel which one we want to go to more readily or which one we feel more comfortable around, that can kind of give us a gauge of the energy that we have a problem stepping into. So just be aware of that. Just be aware of those walls that we have built around ourselves. And the easiest way to see that is to go to childhood and say, okay, am I closer to my mother, or am I closer to my father, or am I closer to neither? But was it an aunt, an uncle, a teacher, a mentor who came in and really helped to shape me? And, you know, who were they? How were they? And that's going to be important, because here what we need to balance is our creative energy with our determined energy, our caring energy and nurturing energy with our conquering energy and our insightful energy. So it's going to be really important to have this balance, because for us, it is almost like we're calling forward, you know, that sacred partner within our lives. We're calling forward that perfect other half of us, because the Empress is the perfect other half to who we are and what we're seeking and what we desire. So it can be for people during this moon, you can find that you're interested in meeting people, you know, during this time. Aries, you're interested in starting a relationship, or, you know, strengthening the relationship that you're in, and, you know, connecting with greater groups of people, greater understandings of people. This is going to be important. It moves us then to our hopes and our fears, which it says work through your fears, and it's by taking the reins. It's by taking the reins and saying, this is where I'm headed. This is what I want. It's being more disciplined with ourselves, because Lord knows hours can go by so fast without even knowing how. And it's really setting ourselves forward on a greater journey. And that's what we're doing. We're taking the reins and saying, okay, you know what? I'm working through my fears it can be by being hyper organized. It can be by being really, you know, determined, insightful, you know, understanding of ourselves. But it's like, this is where I need to be. This is what I'm focusing on. And it brings us to our potential future, which is boundaries. We have everything that we're juggling, everything that we're doing. We need to have firm, strong boundaries. And as we look at this, we need to also ground ourselves and say, this is where I stand. This is who I am. This is what I want. Period. And stop. Because if we're juggling everything, and yet none of it really has meaning, we just know that we have to do it, we have to get it done, it's too much. So just be aware of that. All right. All right, Aries, let's look at the subconscious energy that's going on here. Look at that. So we have the full moon in Sagittarius coming forward, which is spectacular, because we started off with the new moon in Sagittarius. So very, very, very strong Sagittarius energy coming forward. The moon coming forward. This moon in Sagittarius means a lot to us. It's a lot more profound. It's a lot more impactful than we think it is going to be. And this says, look at the bigger picture. Subconsciously, we need to look at the bigger picture. Take aim at what we truly want. And then just head for it. Just go after it. Single-mindedly, doggedly, determinedly. But, unstoppably, too. It moves us then to our wisdom. So as we're looking at the bigger picture, we're embracing more wisdom. We're embracing more knowledge than we thought we had, than we imagined could be around us. But we're also being guided by those who have been very wise, who have come before us. Our subconscious tarot energy is the sun. The sun in Gemini, the moon in Sagittarius. This is a time, just as we have the Lord and we have the Empress, the Lord and Lady, the Emperor and the Empress come forward. This is a time of dualities. The moon is conjunct the sun. The sun is conjunct the moon. This is a time of things being opposite each other. And this is a time where our radiance needs to shine forward, where we need to remember who we are and what we want and what we desire from our lives and the bigger picture of where we stand and why we're standing there. Subconsciously, we're here to shine. We are here to shine. The full moon is the radiant spotlight upon us in the darkness. The sun is the radiant spotlight upon us, in the daytime. We're here to shine and we're here to bask in that spotlight. It moves us to our subconscious energy to be mindful of. This is the King of Pentacles. There's an element of rigidity here. It can be attracted to rigidity. Like, this is the way it has to be. There's a proper way to do everything, and let us do everything properly. Or there is also an energy of, it's outside energy, or it could be us. Everything has to be done properly. Everything has an end goal, a purpose. And so when it comes to our dreams and what we desire, it can be very hard for us to step into what we truly want, because we're going to be like, well, you have to be hyper rational about this. And that's going to cut our wings in one way or another. And it's not saying that we don't have to be real to ourselves and we can't all be dreamers and schemers, but there's something here where it diminishes your light if you are too rigid. And it brings us then to our subconscious chakra energy, which is the Earth Star chakra located 6 inches below our feet, and it's nourishing. We need to nourish ourselves. We need to set those boundaries and nourish the inner child and really state what we desire and what we're dreaming of and let that shine forward. All right. All right, Aries. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy, as we embrace the power, beauty, and intensity of this moon and of ourselves. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Aries. And may you have a blessed moon.